Let me get my charger. Don't die! Hold on. I'm back! Hooray! Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, I had to get my charger. My hair is clean. I washed it last night. What was I going to talk to you guys about? Update, because I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I know some of you follow me and want to know what's going on. I didn't want to get into it too much because I didn't want you guys to worry. And anytime these things happen, I get stressed out. But Mom did fall on 4th of July, and we did have to go to the hospital. So she's doing much better now. I can talk about that next time. She's doing good. So I've been thinking about, I want to save up to get some sprinklers for her, because it's always like when she's doing gardening that it happens. So, yeah. If I set up like Patreon or buy me a coffee, I can use money to get my cat fixed and get sprinklers so my mom's not going up and down like a bunch of stairs to her gardens and then falling. Yeah, it wasn't good. But she didn't get, she did have to go to the hospital. She did hit her head, and she did get a broken nose, and she had black eyes, and it wasn't good. So I'm gonna start. I've been saying this forever, and then I would always end up forgetting. One of the things that I realized that I want to start doing every week is, I'm like, okay, instead of getting sucked into my depression and feeling completely worthless, like useless, because of my mess and the struggles, and then just, I've given up for so long now, the last few months, that it's gotten bad. And it's almost like, okay, I'm at ground zero. Ego Shredder will know exactly what I'm talking about. The last time, it's been a while since I talked to you, Ego Shredder. Leave a comment and let me know how you're doing. I'm inspired by him because he set a bedtime for himself, and I think it was 2 months he stuck to it. That I've never been able to stick to a bedtime. I can get it within a range, but it's been really tough. And because I tend to not be a morning person, any job I tend to work later. So even if I get out of work even if I were to get out in the afternoon, I'd still probably be wired for a while, and because of my social interactions. It's very weird if you were to meet me and outside of being home, not when I'm out doing errands and doing my own thing, but like if I'm in a work environment or I work with the public, you would literally think I was extroverted because I get so chatty. And I'm genuine. I'm genuinely happy to see people. And I give. And the next day, I'm like, my happiness, my cheerfulness, it's like, I'm like, my nice is used up. That's why I used to feel super guilty because I'd give everything I had to my work. And I was only working a few days a week because this was going back quite a few years because I was in college. And I would be so grouchy at home, and I'd be so rude to my family, and I'd feel horrible about it, but I couldn't not do it because I was going on fumes. I was burned out. I didn't know about neurodivergence like this. I had no idea. I knew I had ADHD. I had no idea about burnout. I knew that I would have them, but I always thought of it as a weakness of character, and it's like something I have to overcome, even if I knew it was probably from me trying so hard, right? Which that's part of it. But yeah, I'm all over the place. Took my medicine. I ate. I had 2 glasses of water today so far, so that's good. What? It's 1? What? So yeah, please, if anybody knows, I don't know much about social media, and because I've avoided it for so long, which is very odd for me, because it's like the reverse of how it was when I was younger. I used to get into it when other people weren't, and like you were a weirdo for doing it, and now I'm like the weirdo for not being on Facebook, and not like the last decade or so. You know, like everybody in my work environments, they'd all be connected on that. And I was like, yeah, I don't do that. Why? I'm like, well, I had my page hacked once and I'm not, nope. I had no interest. It wasn't interesting to me. So, because I felt like I'd rather have a few close friends and a few people I knew that was less distracting than being on there all the time. So that's what was right for me. Okay, so I've talked about a little about everything. And this says I've been talking to you. Oh, that says I have 47 minutes left. So I'm not sure. Hopefully I haven't been talking to you for too long because I had to keep breaking it up this last time because I was at 3% and it was going to shut off. Do you guys, any of you know what are good resources to use? Like there was Buy Me a Coffee and I can't remember the other ones. There's a few of them. And some people have multiple. I don't have Venmo. I don't have any Cash App. I don't have anything like that. I don't even have credit cards because I had to pay my way out of debt and I had to consolidate. I got to get with the times. I got to get with the times and I got to start doing some of these things because I'm not less than anyone else. And if I'm struggling, it's because that I'm not bothering to look into some of these other opportunities. And you know what? I'm seeing that it's pretty much understood in this YouTube community that most people have something like that to help supplement their income. And that makes sense. If you're doing something from your heart that you want to do, even though you want to do it, you can't do consistently every single week, be giving like 20 hours plus to something that's not a job that you don't get paid for. Most of us have to make an income and buy groceries and pay for rent. And my mom's getting older and I don't want to lose my house. And hopefully we have her for a very long time. Something cute, funny, adorable is my mom does art and she does beading. She does that intricate beading with those tiny little seed beads. And she's making a pair of earrings for me right now that have little calico cats on them. They're super cute. Yeah, I can't wait to show you that. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get into better habits. And if you guys, any of you know what I should set up on my channel, let me know. I guess I'm gonna have to start looking up content about what to do next because honestly, I would have to do this full time for probably another year before being able to make any money from YouTube. And that's not okay. That is not, I understand where YouTube's coming from. They don't want to monetize people who aren't making money. That's fine. I get it. They're there to do a business. They're there to make money, not just do content, you know, but people can't do things for free. I can't buy groceries. It's funny because since I work so little, social services had reached out to me since I moved here and told me that I qualified for things like food stamps and whatnot. And I was tired of having to, my family support me and buy food for me. And I was going to do that because I've paid into the system my whole life. I've never asked for assistance. And I'm in this situation because of mental health reasons and my own disabilities. It's not something I want. And it's not something where I want it to stay. So I'm not one of the people who'd be taking advantage of it. So, you know, that would really help me. I mean, honestly, I would be screwed if my relationship didn't work out and my mom passed away. I'd lose my house. I have to do stuff. I have to do things. And if I just rush out and get a full-time job and burn myself out again and then end up having to quit or get fired, that's not sustainable to me. So as I learn more, I think this journey into figuring out exactly like what type of autism I have, I'm very, very high masking. I am so exhausted the next day after I work. Like today is the day after I work, and I am surprised that I'm even like wanting to talk on here. Um, I still don't really get it. Um, I think that's what there's a lot of controversy about ABA, and we can talk about that in the next one. But a lot of these services that help people, designed to train people to be more social and to sit still and do the things that you need to do to function in the world, also suppress stimming, and depending on where you go, has been traumatic for some autistic people growing up in ABA. I hear that it's better now, but still, all of these things that you would have to learn to function in the world require very heavy masking. And so it doesn't make you better just because you can teach yourself to do these things and suppress the sensitivities and suppress things to not show people, doesn't mean that you aren't jumping out of your skin. You have to hide it out of fear and shame. Like, I can't even let my mom or my fiance see that. If I were to freak out and have a meltdown in front of my fiance, he would chew me out. I cannot have a meltdown in front of my own family. I've never been able to. Yeah, I grew up Gen X, very, very strict. You don't really cry. You can, but you send off to your room. And so PTSD, like shock and awe, you force it back. And you pay such a heavy price physically. So yeah, a lot of these things that teach you how, they're basically teaching people how to mask. And masking is really bad for your health. And I know if you're neurotypical, which is what you'd say regular people, that doesn't make sense to you, because it might seem like you're just doing an action that you weren't doing before, and you're learning a different way to be. But because it is so against your natural way of being, no matter how much you practice it, no matter how ingrained it is in you, no matter how many decades you've been doing, even if it's automatic, it's still not in your nature. So you're still suppressing yourself. And because of that, that takes such an enormous, even if you're completely, it's subconscious now, you just do it, it's still cognitively, you pay such a high price for it. You are physically and mentally drained. And a lot of people who aren't diagnosed go that way for many years, and they end up getting fired or quitting job or end up being hospitalized, and they think they've lost their mind, and they have no idea why. Now you can imagine if you're like, oh, why? You look fine. Why should you get diagnosed? Well, you know what? If people can't hold a job because these qualities has been interfering with their ability to work and hide it, imagine having so much anxiety and sensitivity, and for dear life, you have been hiding it desperately so that you don't look any different to your coworkers. You don't want to put your job in jeopardy. Just because you got good at it doesn't mean that you're not still freaking out on the inside, even if you don't acknowledge it to yourself. You know, which is what I was doing. And ironically, when I tried to start unmasking, I wasn't able to do that here. Because I'm not able to unmask without being rude to people. I can't be my authentic self, which sucks. That'd be another interesting topic sometime to talk about. So I'm not going to get into personal details, but I am in a relationship with a neurotypical man, and I am neurodivergent female. I have ADHD, probably also autism. I also have coexisting comorbidities of major depression and chronic anxiety, which I take medication for, which most people get diagnosed with these other things. Like, how did they not know? So many people who finally get answers, once you go through the year or two of forcing yourself to learn about this thing and actually becoming open to the idea that you might also have it, and learning facts, actual facts, science-based, peer-reviewed, evidenced research, true definitions of what it is, not just an extreme version of what society thinks of it. I kind of think of it like this. I'm going to go because my throat hurts and I'm going to go get a cough drop. And it's 1:30 now, 1:35. And I want to get back to doing content for you guys. I miss you guys. I miss talking to you. I miss doing lives with you. I miss being in touch and finding out like who's struggling with what and how we can support each other. None of us are mental health professionals. If you're new here, my name is Sherry. I probably haven't said it so far. Neurodivergent. You're not alone and you're not crazy. I think I'm probably going to be struggling with internalized ableism for a while. I'm figuring if it's taken 50, I'm 50. If it's taken like 50 years, I think it's been 2 years. Has it been 2 years or 1 year? I don't know. My sense of time is horrible. But maybe about a year at least that I've been learning what autism actually is and not believing it. So I can't be mad at other people for not believing it. But what I'm mad about, what bothers me, is at least I had the consideration to not argue with people. People put their foot in their mouth. They go, It's like, wait, dude, relax and realize that as a culture, we're not taught about this. And no, people aren't going around diagnosing themselves because I saw TikTok videos. And diagnoses aren't available to a lot of people. When I got diagnosed with ADHD, it was like 10 questions or a dozen questions and boom. And you can tell. Do you do these things? If you had like 8 out of 10, then yeah, or however, basically you have it. Nobody ever questioned my ADHD. But you can't talk about autism. Especially if somebody either has, and it's a different animal. Somebody's texting me. So if you have somebody who's very, very high support needs, I'm not taking away from that. That's a different thing. But it's almost like if like somebody with depression who periodically has thoughts of unaliving, anxiety, able to kind of function in the world, they hide it. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. If you saw me at work, you would have no idea. If I tell people, they feel bad and then I feel uncomfortable. And it's not professional, but some of the customers I get close enough to that, they share personal things about themselves. So I'll start sharing because I'd just rather be myself. I don't like putting on airs. I don't like that, even though it's considered professional. Whatever. I don't really share things too personal. I just kind of go about it in a general way. But that's huge for me. Until I started this channel, which was a year ago, and I've been able to do work on it periodically, but I've also been still struggling. So I do work when I can on here. So I'm on one side, I'm very sad and disappointed because there's so much I wanted to do on this channel that I haven't been able to yet. But I can't be mad at myself and I can't be upset because it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change. All I can do is start to reevaluate my expectations. So if you're new here, if you're looking for tips on how to manage your ADHD or neurodivergence, at least with ADHD, I have tried to force against the grain, and I have tried, and I'll do videos just on this. I've tried so many things over the years. Now, every one of us is different. What's going to help me is not necessarily going to help you. And what's going to help you is not necessarily going to help me, because we're also, even with just ADHD, we're also very, very different. Even beyond just this person's inattentive, this person is hyper, this person is both. And the level of executive functioning issues and the level of poor working memory and all of that. Rambling. You guys always say I'm not, so hopefully I'm not. But I catch myself and I'm like, wow, what was I just talking about for, I don't even know. It says 20 minutes on this one. I'm going to let you guys go because I love you. And my videos lately have just been ridiculously long. I'm still going to make like that little 8-minute video. I can tell in analytics that most people don't watch it, and that's fine. I don't want to make people watch things that aren't good, that aren't interesting, or they don't have time for. So what I'm going to do, because there's all these little snippets in that 8-minute video, I'm going to make like little teeny shorts. I might do a TikTok. I'm not going to do much on it, but I had to download that so that there was certain content that I wanted to see. I'm not used to TikTok. It's so short. The format's so short. I mean, these kind of vlogs and these kind of personal stories of what we struggle with and helping each other, you can't do that there. You know, I don't know what my goals are today. What did I put? I was thinking that in order to help my family more, I mean, I can do laundry for my mom. I can't contribute with money. But I can pick up a few things. And if I'm out of money, you know, she can give me some money. So I was thinking one of the days during the week, I'll go around and ask people about their personal care products. Mom does her own groceries. Curtis does groceries for us. But to kind of lessen the load, I can do more laundry, and I have to start looking in to see if there's any maybe creative artistic jobs near me. I'm curious if they even exist. I don't know what they pay. I have heard that there are some art centers that you can teach classes, so I would be really interested in to look at that. That'd be less stressful than the self-checkouts beeping all freaking day long. I can't deal with them. I literally I kind of yelled at a customer. I never do that. People have no idea. They don't know how much you're holding back, and you're expected to suck it up. But if you're neurodivergent, it's nearly impossible. And yesterday was the first time, probably ever. Yeah, since for 15 years working for a company, the first time that I wasn't yelling, but I was yelling so they could hear. I'm like, please be quiet, because her kids were screaming. And it's just a toddler. I'm like, you know what? Even when I was a toddler, all my parents had to do was say the number 1. And I know they don't spank their kids anymore, but you shut up. And if you couldn't, you didn't get to go. And I know that a lot of people don't have that. I don't know. It was a different time. It was the 70s. My family didn't have a whole lot of resources either, because my family moved out of state. So we didn't live near extended neighbors and family members who could come in and babysit, but they made it work. So anyway, I am getting random. I'm going to go find out if she needs anything picked up. What am I forgetting? So I wanted to check up on you guys. I was curious how Ego Shredder you're doing, because I know that you had been starting to tackle some of your messes and make progress, and I'm about to do that myself. I don't know if you guys are interested in body doubling. I've been wanting to do it, but I'm a little self-conscious, because I know if anybody doesn't know what that is and isn't interested, they'll be like, why is this lady cleaning her house on a live? Why? And I don't know if I could make a sign or put something at the bottom of the screen. I could say, body doubling is a technique for ADHD. Oh my God. Because I need to clean my house, and I'm overwhelmed, and I don't have anyone to do body doubling with me. And nobody wants to help me. And I get it. I come from a very independent, strong-willed family that you do your own shit. You do your stuff. But it's like, you know, in a previous relationship I had, we did teamwork. What's wrong with teamwork? Somebody can't help me get started? I mean, once I get things organized, I don't need help. It's embarrassing. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go have lunch. I might pop back in later on tonight. I don't know if I'm ready to do lives again, but I would like to start. Yeah, and also for my autistic friends and my ADHD friends who may have struggled with who struggle with burnout, or ADHD friends who struggle with burnout and keeping jobs. Have you been able to find side hustles, other ways of having income that aren't like crazy amount of work for like little money? Like, have you tried DoorDash? Have you tried some of these other side hustles? Has that worked for you? I don't necessarily know that would be any better, because you're still dealing with people. You're still going to people's houses and you're still doing work. You're driving around picking things up. I'm not sure if that's an option for me, but I want to start looking at maybe I should try everything. Maybe I should try everything. Maybe we wait for that perfect answer and there is none. So I do have safety concerns. I do have safety concerns. I don't want to go up to strangers' homes. I've watched too much true crime. I know that sounds paranoid, and it might be. But I've seen some of these stories where women who are real estate agents and show houses, I've seen some of these things. I don't think they're all like that, but I can't deal with that. I don't even want to think about that. Ugh. Although it wouldn't hurt me to learn kickboxing. Oh my God, my joints. Do you guys want to do Pilates or yoga together? I haven't been here in so long and I miss you guys. What do you want me to talk about next? Let's do some work together. Let's talk about some of these issues again. Or I can do something totally fun. You tell me. Tell me what you want to see. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.